hooray! So far, everything's going. We're not like having nearly the issues we were last week. So, so far so good. How have you been?
All right. Just dealing with things as they come up.
Yeah, it's kind of how it has to go. I'm happy to be finally starting to catch up on a few things. Hope that continues. So.
Yeah. I saw the video come up. I was like 2 seconds after. I was like, oh, well, I'll go ahead and jump on this.
yeah. I was because now I need to get Preston to take a look at it and make sure that the chemistry is correct. But what was great was I've already got a comment. Somebody saw it and said, "I never expected I'd get a chemistry lesson on this channel, but cool."
Yeah.
But. Yeah, well, I was sitting there going and double checking a lot of stuff, making sure I had chemical formulas right as I was doing this. So, a lot of the production time is me fact checking myself. So, yeah.
It's like a Mr. Wizard edition.
Yes, and here's some of the natron I'm getting. Wow, the bread is still warm. I just pulled the pita bread out of the toaster oven.
Oh.
But we'll get to have some, afterwards. Neat gets first help.
Like an hour, 2 hours later.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So I'm collecting.
Yamano, you're helping make sure that the after conversation is extremely short.
And hey guys, hey Rebecca. Ren will not be joining us tonight because she is having a meeting with the fellow members of the Troth, and
we're telling the truth,
right? Well, it's worth mentioning because sometimes people have questions about Norse paganism, and I can wholeheartedly say if you want to learn more about it, check out anything by the Troth, and it's Troth, and they're like. They do their research when they publish their stuff, so you're getting reliable information, and they're cool people too.
Right, we're telling the truth here.
Very punny. But yes, so that's not my field of expertise at all. But yeah, for those who want to know, go talk to them. So, now I did finish reading a book on Canaanite polytheism, and that was actually a very good book. I'll be reviewing it later this summer, but overall, I'd say if you're interested in that, then A Whisper of Stone is actually a very good book. It's just I think some of her sources on the Egyptian stuff were a little shallow, but that's okay. She's it's hard enough just trying to find things out about Canaanite. But I can add to that in a video. So
every discipline is its own thing. So
yeah. So alrighty. And I am going to have to step past you in just a minute in order to get the jar of water. I almost wonder if maybe if you like hold the jar in your hands, if it would warm it up, so maybe it wouldn't be so cold. Yeah. I mean, it's just tap water. I don't see how tap water is that frigid, but
it is.
Okay. Well, I'm just afraid that in a couple of months it's going to be roasting and you'll be glad for the cold water. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a scorcher at some point.
Yeah, well, typically if we have a really cold, snap in late winter, then we tend to have a hot summer afterwards. So, not looking forward to that, but that is my prognostication for the southern United States. But be that as it may, trying to not to get too many fingerprints on this glass bottle here.
I would dearly be happy if we can just keep our temperatures above 70.
Above or below?
Above, or I like warmer.
Oh, okay.
I used to prefer winter, but blood pressure medications will change that.
Yes, it will.
Yeah. That, and I've been in Ohio in January. That is not fun. I didn't know it could be too cold to snow until I went to Ohio.
Yep.
Ohio can get so cold it makes you expand your vocabulary.
Oh, that's a long story. Yeah. And we'll save that for another time. In the meantime, these cool waters are upon my hands. And they purify me as Tiffany purifies me. Hail unto you, Nachu. Come unto you without falsehood and without evil. Purity is upon our hands, our purity is within our hearts. We cast out all evil that pertains to us. Okay. We are pure. We are pure. We are pure. Pure. Come here. Come on. Just take that. My phone is acting like it's still trying to upload that last video that we did a couple of weeks ago. So I may have to go in and see what it's doing. So if you suddenly see something that's out of our usual time and it looks like something's going on with one of the live videos, it might be me trying to debug what's going on, why my phone thinks I'm still uploading something 2 weeks later.
Yeah, that's a bug.
Yeah, it's probably what probably happened is I didn't step out of something when I was when I was done streaming on the phone, and it is still waiting for a connection or something like that. So we'll have to I'll have to tweak it. And I'm probably gonna have to do it on my phone because,
yeah, typically you have to fix it where you broke it.
Basically, yeah.
Zoom is the same way. Don't schedule a Zoom meeting with your phone and then expect to attend the Zoom meeting on your laptop just because you changed your mind. Wrong.
Huh? Yeah. Such is our modern life.
Zoom will bring everything to a halt.
I haven't actually used Zoom yet.
Well, we used it for right. I used it for the Arkansas Pagan Pride in October. That was really cool, and I could see myself using it again at some point. And just I don't know. Just see be able to stick around. Okay. Okay, all right. So I got a request. So later on, Amanat is going to want a divination and prayers for help with a math test.
Yes, and I want everyone to know that in spite of the law saying that you do not have to pray in school, as long as there are tests, there will be prayer in school.
Well, we'll definitely say some prayers for that. So.
Yeah, it'll be a calculated measure, but yes.
I wish I could just I have a little thing that I could push a button and it would play a rim shot, because I would be using it often with you. But in the meantime, oh, come in peace, bright eye of Horus. Come in peace. Listen to our friend Darren's punny jokes. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus shines like Ra in the twin horizons, and evil hides in fear of it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus destroys the enemies of Ra and all of their abodes, till none remain. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus comes to the four corners of the world, reaching all of our friends near and far. And we are purified with it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
You arise in the Aketis Capri, O Ra, spreading your light upon the earth. You sit in peace in the mountains of Manu as a tomb, bringing your light to Duat. Shine upon earth as you do in heaven and Duat. And tonight we honor Ra and we honor his mother Neat, who's a co-creator, creatress. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, and to you, O Neat. Came from noon at the first time, for such are your uniqueness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed you at your left side, for such are the words you commanded. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Sia at your right side, for such is your great wisdom. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, whose Hika goes before you, for such is your ability. You, O Ra, hail and praise unto you, O Neat, the Great, O you Nutchuru, you lords of love and lords of life. Grant us life, well-being, and health. May our eyes perceive your goodness and our hearts receive your wisdom. May you shine upon us as you traverse the sky, that we may bring to you Ma'at and cast out Espet. And may you guard us from the evil one through the dark hours of the night, your protection being before us and your strength being within us. Take these, the cool waters which are the inundation, that they may cool your hearts. O Ra, O Neat, O Yenichidu, these cool waters are the eye of Horus, that your hearts may be refreshed. Milk, milk, may you taste it in your shrine. May your hearts be refreshed with it. We bring you this milk from the great flood, O Yenichidu, that you may be purified with it. We bring you incense. We bring you incense, great of purity. This incense is the eye of Horus, and its fragrance comes to you. It cleanses you, it adorns you. It takes its place upon your hands. O Yenichidu, we give to you this eye of Horus. Its fragrance comes to you. Take this, your bread on which gods live. This bread is the eye of Horus, O Yenichidu. Lift it to your faces and be at peace with it. The gardens prosper and Hapi rejoices, overflowing with his meal. We fill the eye of Horus for you with wine, O Ra, O Neat, O Yunachidu. Drink and be pure. The doors of heaven and the doors of earth are open with libations for you within this house. May your faces be refreshed with your libations, your wine and your water. There we go. I haven't quite gotten to the myrrh yet, boo. Yeah. It's been a long day after a long night, so we were kind of thinking, yeah, once we hit the myrrh, he's done for. Pure is Ra Horaketi within his house. Pure is Neat, the Great, within her house. Pure is the Ka of Ra with this good myrrh that is given. Pure is the Ka of Neat with this good myrrh that is given. Jehuti proclaims it. It is written in his house of sacred words. Hapi gives in abundance, thousands of offerings, all things good and pure for Ra Horaketi, for Neat, and for their needs, in every place that their immortal cause dwell. Come to your body, O Ra Horaketi. Come to your body, O Neat. Come to your bodies, O Yunuchuru. Come to your invocation. Come unto us, your servants who are mindful of your feasts and your offerings. Bring your power, your hika, your honor, and your ba to these your offerings, and partake of them. Come, O people. Raise these offerings before the faces of these gods. Lift the offerings before Ra and before Neat, before the Nachuru. All life comes from them, all health comes from them, all stability comes from them, all good fortune comes from them as it has since the first time. O Ra Horaketi and your son, the Osir Nisu Nebkepurura, your foes retreat from you. Horus turns himself to his eye. Turn yourselves to these, your offerings, and receive them from our hands. And we step over to honor our blessed dead. The eye of Horus may light their way. And that they may receive cool waters from the table of Osiris. And Snickers bars. It's interesting. I was catching the jingles on a tambourine, just those brushed up against it, and so the vibrations went through the cushion into the tambourine jingles. But, Parakeru ta henket kakao afdu senachurmerhat kutnibet nofret wabet alchet nachurim and kawin akupunibu ma keru nibu kirnachura. Voice offering of 1,000 of bread and beer, beef and fowl, incense, oils, all good and pure things on which a god lives, for the cause of all of these Aku, all true of voice before the great god. We come unto you, O Ra, O Neet, as Jehuti comes, our hands joined under Ma'at. Ma'at has come to be with you in every place where you are. An offering of Ma'at is made unto you, that your heart may be pleased and your cause shall live. Truly your Enid has Ma'at, for they know you live in her. The Enid says unto you, your word is law eternally. Isfet is cast out by your word. Rejoicing is yours every day. Ma'at has taken her place in your shrine. May we always act with gentility and compassion, for such is the first Ma'at. May we always offer charity and hospitality, for such is the second Ma'at. May we always respect consent and fidelity, for such is the third Ma'at. May we always avoid violence and promote wellness, for such is the fourth Ma'at. May we always speak words of truth, for such is the fifth Ma'at. May we always promote the public good, for such is the sixth Ma'at. May we always act humbly and with temperance, for such is the seventh Ma'at. May we always honor our gods and respect others, for such is the eighth Ma'at. May we uphold Ma'at like Jehuti, that we may witness Ra's perfection every day. Yes, our theme for tonight comes from a feast that would have been observed in the southern Egyptian town of Esna. And a lot of what we know about her and her calendar comes from Esna. And Esna seemed to be kind of paired as the southern counterpart with Sais, which is a town in the Delta, and that's, Neat's hometown, if you will. But because it's in the Delta, higher water tables, and more humid conditions, not as much has survived, and so we don't have a whole lot, to go on. But there's the inscriptions, the mirror festivals from Esna, so we know that this was, one of a couple of them. There's another one towards the end of the month, where, she took on the form of, the great cow with, the horns, and she lifted Ra out of the waters to protect him from the crocodiles, and so that's kind of evoking the symbol of the sun disk, with the horns, which of course Hathor took that later on, and then Isis took it from her, but it started with me. So get my other system if I can. No, I'll just use that one. Hail unto you, O Neat the Great, the one who existed before existence, you who made all that is, who created all that exists. Eldest of the primeval gods, fashioner of Ra, mother of Ra who was at the beginning. Unique one without equal, mistress of destiny, regent of fortune. Earth is under your command. One does not make plans without your knowledge. Queen of the gods in heaven, sovereign of the gods in the earth. Mistress of the bow, regent of the arrow, who keeps the arrow demons under your authority. Mistress of great fear, who created the twin crocodiles. Life and death are under your supervision. You fill sky and earth with your beauty, light the two lands with the rays of your eyes. You encompass your son as the light of the two lands. Father of fathers, who makes fertile the seeds of God and men. Great cow who nourishes all things. Mother of mothers who is like no other. Appropriate, I guess, since this is Mother's Day weekend. And we got a request, and I think we can extend this to anyone who's taking tests because, it's the end of the school year, and so you have a lot of that, and, a lot of people praying and hoping they pass. Please give them clarity of mind and the ability to remember everything that they've studied, not let their anxiety get the better of them, and concentrate and pass their tests. And to that end, hail and praise unto you, O Jehuti, thrice great God, the son of Ra, Lord of Chemnu, wise one in Unu, you report to Ra every morning. Messenger of humankind, you know people by their speech and judge them by their deeds. Those true of voice before Osir, their names are in your list. The Aeneid gives you praise as you guide the bark of millions, as you cast out the evil one, as you change strife into peace. You know all secrets, all books, all deeds, the fleeting moment, the hour of night. No report to Ra is forgotten. Your words endure for eternity. Friend of the people, wise and impartial, great one, Lord of Ma'at. Yes, and you know, that's something, thinking about it, and back to when I was in school, test anxiety is a real thing. And, you know, I know there's stuff, you know, I'm sure you can find online nowadays, you know, to help you with, you know, test anxiety, you know, because a lot of times, you know, you spend all the time, you study and you know it, but, you know, you get nervous and you freeze up and, you know, blow something, and, you know, you look back at it later and it's like, oh man, I should have known this. You know, I know that happened to me. So, you know, my prayer and my, you know, hopes are for everyone to, you know, that might be, you know, at that point, to just be able to keep your cool and don't let it get you. You got this. You know, study and you'll get through the year. You know, and also helpful little things like just when you get a test, scan over it first. You know, the whole thing before you like start. You know, on, you know, problem number one, so that you kind of have an idea of what the whole thing's going to look like, and you can sort of pace yourself, and you know, maybe knock those hard ones out of the way, or figure out what things you know you're not going to be able to answer, so that you don't waste time on them. You can, you know, get all the other things and help your average. You know, little strategies like that can, you know, those were things that I learned about that really help. So, from someone who has been a student, you know. And I'm going to look to see what other requests we've got. Okay, hey, sarcastic. Let's see. Yes, Ojahuti, please help me survive this midterm. A prayer said many times. Yes. Somebody. Okay, prayer request. Those suffering with depression and who are thinking of suicide, definitely. And yes, also a prayer for India, because you know, it's funny. We were just talking about there's an older couple that we know that they're back in India right now, because they used to own a restaurant that we would go to a lot, and very sweet. Their names were Shri and Rama, and we've just been thinking about them and hope that they're all right, you know, in the midst of all this. And you know, oh neat, you know. Please pass on to Ma Durga to look after our friends that are over there, and to help people get through this, because, you know, they're having such a tough time right now. And, you know, may the hope and the healing that we're seeing here in the United States spread to the rest of the world, and so that we can get over this, you know, and get on with life. And you know what? Since somebody mentioned prayers for those who are dealing with suicidal thoughts, let me see if I can find that prayer to Anubis. Because I know I have it here. No. Okay. Give me just a minute. I'd had it at one point where I could get to it easily, and I just... Oh. I think I might know. Hold on. Just a minute. It's never far. It's just a matter of finding the right... There it is. I got it. Okay. And this request was from... Okay. For Sekemhotep, as you're dealing with depression, this is for you. With quiet patience he works the scale, jackal's ears and jackal's face, human hands and God's soul. He weighs each person's heart with care against the sacred feather of truth, listens to their testimony, words of lives now in past tense. Mild-mannered he kneels to Osiris. The jackal's job is to serve, not to fight. Other gods take up that task, to defend Ra's creation with sharp blades and fierce eyes. But this keen jackal's ears prick up. He hears distant cries of anguish, of pain, and behind each one of them a terrible whisper. Unspeakable lies from the unspeakable one, twisted distortions of sacred truth, a million shattered shards in the form of tortured thoughts, of worthlessness and doubt, of sadness and self-hate, depression, destruction, and longing for death. But Anubis, that great jackal at the scales, knows those words for what they are. They are the lies of the enemy of all that Ra has made, subtle temptations beckoning to oblivion. As he stands at the balance of truth, the gateway between life and death, precarious fulcrum between hope and despair, Anubis resolves to answer, to defend those crying for help, to protect creation itself beating within countless anguished hearts. The jackal draws his blade. With eyes of truth he stares down the evil one, serpent tempter of souls, seeking only their ruin. The jackal draws his blade and lunges forth. Does the sword of Anubis find its mark? Does the jackal strike down the snake? For every person who stays their own hands, puts down the bottle, the pills, the gun, Anubis' stroke is true. Our every choice fulfills his task. His success is up to you. Know that you're loved, and there are people here that will be happy to talk to you. And we want to pass that message to everyone. You're not alone. There's somebody out there who cares and who'll miss you.
Yep. We will.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't even know. It's something you won't even realize until years later. You know, what kind of a difference you would have made. So, you know, hang in there. And since we had prayer requests for more tests, we've addressed Jehuti. We shall now address Seshet. Dua Seshet Necheri Sef Katabwi Keratin Saret Nebet Medu Nechere Nebet Maat Nechere Dat. Hail unto you, Seshet, holy female scribe, the seven-pointed one, excelling in wisdom, mistress of the sacred words, lady of Ma'at, great goddess. Please give your inspiration and your confidence and your wisdom to those who are getting through tests, who are wrapping up finals, who are trying to move on to the next phase. We ask for your blessings. And Sekemhotep says, thank you for taking me seriously. I have no friends or family. Well, you've got a Kemetic family now, so
Yeah, we
welcome aboard. So. And also I realize it's Mother's Day weekend coming up, and you know, for some people, you know, it's great, you know, their mom has, you know, been there for them, and you know, Darren sent a nice care package to his mom, you know, and Morgan's going to be spending the weekend doing something, I guess, for his mom, but not everyone has that opportunity either, because their mom has passed on to the West, and in which case we ask Hathor, as mistress of the West, to give them the hugs that we can't. And then there are those of us that didn't have good relationships with our moms. And so, I guess you have to find that love from where you can. I guess I should include a prayer for Mama Chan. She was our little Japanese neighbor. She would have been old enough to be my grandmother.
Yep. So we'll have to give hugs for her.
Yeah. Feisty, spunky lady that she is. And we love her very much. Okay. We did get a couple of requests for divinations. So, the first one, this one's actually for Seta because she had asked for one. I don't think we got to it. But then the next one's going to be Amanakt because he had asked for one. So I guess we'll have to make sure that Seta gets this one. Because I was refilling my basket and this one fell out and I thought of her. So I said, okay, this is hers. And so we'll have to tell Seta. Many people will be drawn to you for your wisdom and insights. So.
Well, that's interesting.
Well, it's certainly a reminder that, just when you think that you don't have something to offer to the world, you never know. Sometimes you get things, that kind of happened to me earlier today. So, you never know. And next, I'm going to, okay. I just came right out. So, if you had to head out early, that's okay. But fortune. It is much wiser to take advice than to give it. So, there may be some folks that are wanting to give you some advice. Listen.
Yes. Exercise your ears, not your mouth.
Well, another thing to consider is, the thoughts and the wisdom, that you've got in mind, it's still going to be there. Just hold on to it. But if somebody's giving you something, that's an opportunity. Take it.
Sounds like somebody specifically, or not necessarily specifically, but somebody's got something to say to you.
Yeah. Okay, I will peek over here. Okay, and Sekhmet Hotep. Let's get a divination. Okay, you know what? I think this one right here. It's the only one that wiggled. I think this one is yours. Okay. Life moves on, whether we act as cowards or heroes.
Wow.
Don't take the easy way out.
There isn't one.
Yeah. Life moves on. Just hang in there. I think that's the big message. Is just hang in there. So. Yeah, and it's funny. I got someone asked me to make if I had a PDF of the service that I do, like for the Decade Festival. So I guess I'm going to have to put together a booklet with some prayers and some of the things that we do here and make that available so people can get it.
You need to make a really nice one and publish it.
Well, yeah, that's actually what I mean, is have it to where you can get it, online.
Right.
But, yes, and I've had folks kind of poking at me about that. And
for
it's
years.
Not that long, but, well, okay.
Well, I know I poked you a couple times. I was like, yeah, you
Yeah,
could do
yeah,
this
well.
still on it.
Yeah.
Yamano, you are not the only one.
Okay. Okay, yeah, and Wolf's saying I use Lulu for the little pamphlets of services, and yeah, that's because see the thing is like what I use, this is actually hand printed, and I have Print Shop, which does not like exporting to PDF for some reason. I don't know why. They say you can do it, but I've never made it work.
We're going to do some adulting here. We're going to make something much nicer.
Yeah. Hey, what do you mean? Look, I got inspired to make this by the booklets that they had for that service, the Buddhist service that we went to down in Houston.
And that was nice, but
yeah,
it
was
better.
All right, okay, now put the $6 million man sound effect in here. Because we can build it, we can make it better. Yeah, but that's kind of going back to like 70s sci-fi.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, all right, and get Crouching Dragon, Jake Shabby, HD for life. I'm just gonna go with Crouching Dragon, but yes, Crouching Dragon wants a fortune. So,
Crouching Dragon, you need to find your hidden tiger.
Oh, okay, hang on. Yeah, you know what? It's this one. It's calling me. Okay. So Crouching Dragon. And it says, never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat. Yeah, so it may seem like something's going on and that's the end. It's not.
It's like they always say, you lose one battle but not the war.
Right.
How many times? It doesn't matter how many times we fall.
Mm-hmm.
Matters how many times we get up.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny. There's a tree that talks to me, I guess. And I was outside working earlier today, and it's got its full foliage and everything, but today it was the sense that I was getting from that particular tree is that don't be fooled by appearances. Things might look bad, but it's going to be okay. There might be something come up that looks scary, but don't let it phase you because it's going to come out all right. Which is kind of similar to some of the things that we're pulling with the fortunes. So I guess that's something we all need to keep in mind. Especially, think about how crazy last year was. Don't be discouraged. It's going to get better. It just might take a minute. And I see. Okay, Sarana, Rebecca. Yes. Oh, yes. We talked to trees and plants. Actually, there's a big sweet gum in the middle of the backyard that I've named Bucksano, which is an Inuyasha reference. If anyone, recognizes that. But yeah. So Sarana and Rebecca. Okay. Okay. Oh. Sarana, I think this one is yours. Yeah, so speaking of trees, I remember when we had an Osiris ritual outdoors one year, and our friend Nick, we made the mistake of letting him handle the bonfire, and he very liberally used accelerants. And I had to go and apologize to my trees later because I thought for sure he was going to burn them down. He didn't, thankfully, but the height of the flames really had me wondering for a minute. But anyway.
Rituals and fire.
Yeah. Well, At least we didn't have the issues that another coven we know did, because their altar burned down. I think that was at Yule. Yeah, but anyway, Sarana, your fortune says, luck is the byproduct of busting your fanny. So I think that kind of spells it out. So next we have Rebecca. All right, hang on. There we go. Okay. All right. But yeah, they had a beautiful ritual, and they had, they had decorated the altar with pine boughs, and they had these candles, and we had that, and then there was I think we had a bloat afterwards, and because this was kind of a mixed coven, and you had some heathen folks in there, and then we were going to have dinner inside. We look out the window, and somebody's like, "Hey, I think the altar's on fire." That was an interesting Sabbath.
Would someone say it's not a party until we burn something?
Well, apparently some of the folks in that particular coven had like an affinity with fire or something, but I was just like,
well, the spaghetti sauce was warm.
Yeah, some of it exploded. Yeah, because they had canned goods on the altar that they were going to donate, and so we're like running out there, like throwing things off the altar to make sure that they don't burn up. And yeah, I didn't know that a can of spaghetti sauce could explode if it got hot enough, but yes, it can.
It's under pressure.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yes. Now, Rebecca, it says, it takes talent to recognize talent. So, yeah, I don't know. Is there someone in your family that's like been tested for gifted and talented or something like that, or maybe this is something work related? I don't know, but I don't know if that's just my impression or if that matches with something. You just have to kind of. Okay, yeah, several. So I have a sense that it's got something to do with that. But beyond that, you'll have to figure it out. But it takes talent to recognize talent. Yes, and Sarcastic's question about connection with trees and Osiris, and something I was reading about. There's a kind of tree that they'll refer to, and if you're reading about ancient Egypt, it's called a tamarisk. Well, they have them here in the United States, in North America, and they're called salt cedar, because the roots of them tend to produce a salt in it. It's funny. There are certain species that are invasive. And what happened with this is in the 1930s, after the Dust Bowl, there was a big effort to plant trees as wind breaks along the edges of farm land, and I guess they were just importing every freaking kind of tree they could think of, and some of them that they planted were these salt cedars, and I guess thinking, well, they're drought resistant, right? Problem is they tend to crowd out a lot of other kinds of plant. So now you have a problem with them in the Southwest being invasive. But yes, salt cedar is tamarisk. And that's, you can go and look on Wikipedia and find pictures of, you see this juniper or pine looking thing in the middle of the desert. And so you can easily see where, it might be associated with either, harboring death maybe, or harboring life, because if you're in the middle of the desert, finding a tree is kind of a nice thing, so yeah, but that's the tamarisk. And yes, it was associated with Osiris and um, also I don't remember which Canaanite deity it is, but it's in that book that I'll be reviewing. So there you have it.
The other kind of wood that they had access to was acacia. And acacia is associated with Sekhmet.
Oh yeah, and it's funny. The kind of acacia that grows in Africa, they don't have that one here in this country, but I believe that it has relatives in there's a particular kind of tree. I think was it the honey locust, I think, or something. There's one that actually it grows around here, and it's very similar. It has the big thorns, and it puts out the little pods of seeds, and they tend to grow. If you've got an open field and you leave it long enough, they start growing. And they're like, I was trying to find something that was like a North American equivalent to an acacia, and that's what I found.
Yeah. Well, there usually is some form of parallel.
Yeah. Okay, and let's see. Versus, if you're still doing prayers, prayers for my love's surgery tomorrow, for my sister to have her sprained ankle healed, and for me to get over this dumb fever. Hope it's not COVID. Absolutely. Well, I tell you what. Since we're here and we mentioned that, let us light Sekhmet's candle and ask for her help in healing our friends and their loved ones, to get over sickness, to have successful surgery. Oh. It's just a clothespin, right?
Right.
Okay. And things of that sort. Hail, Sekhmet the Great, the Eye of Ra, who hides him within her iris. Hail, Sekhmet, sovereign, mistress of light, who moves in brightness. In peace, Sekhmet, mistress of darkness, at whose setting the dusk comes. In peace, Sekhmet, mistress of fear, whose seal brings death. Hail unto you, Sekhmet, daughter of Ra, who loves Ma'at, who detests his Fet. Most holy of the gods, one seeks life in you. Life, well-being, and health. May you grant those things to those who seek you and to those that they love. I love you too, boo. So I know Mama Sekhmet looks after you too. Okay. Alrighty. An interesting thing about honey locust, those thorns are to keep mastodons from getting at the pods. And of course, the trees, they don't know evolution wise that the mastodons are all gone. But it still works, I guess. But yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and put out that, not quite last call, but go ahead and get in your request for prayers for divinations, things of the sort. And certainly I hope everyone's been having a good week, and we'll have an even better one next week. If you haven't seen the latest video, check it out. It was a lot of fun putting it together, and I'm working on editing some more. So,
and please continue supporting us as you have. Thank you very much. Yeah. And if you're new to Patreon, please give it a try. You might like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I put things like outtakes and stuff on Patreon. So there were outtakes from when we were mummy wrapping the real doll.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we found out that Morgan doesn't tell anyone about what he does when he's over here helping us. So yeah. And one other thought, I guess, before we wrap up, something interesting that I learned today, and I guess my could continue to teach me, because the things that I learn, and it's like, well, this kind of explains their perspective a little bit. If you're wanting to get in touch with someone that you're like a fan of their work, they like a voice actor, or someone who does something on YouTube or whatever, you'll get farther if you take a genuine interest in what they're doing, and especially in helping to promote what they're doing, because people who work in the entertainment field, and YouTube is a part of that field, we live under that under the merciless law of promote or perish, and anything to kind of get your name out there. And so if you're willing to say, hey, take an active interest in things that they're working on, then you'll be more likely to, if you're wanting to ask them for an interview, or to contact them or something like that, instead of just like wanting to ask without being willing to reciprocate.
Right.
There's a little bit of zen that I got today. So
we need to reach an agreement that will be mutually beneficial.
Well, it's like, hang on, I'm here they are. Because I was just going to give an example. Because, if there's anything that I could ask anyone to do, when it comes to my stuff, of course, this channel, anyone who's interested in paganism, send them this way. But if there was one thing that I could ask people, and I'm saying this in response to someone that was asking me about, how to get in touch with someone. And, I've helped them where I could, but I'm, some things I'm not at privilege, to share. But again, kind of reflecting on that, some observations that I made, but if there was anything I would ask people, please check out, for me, it would be my novels. And I will try and hold them. There's 3 of them at this point. So let me see if I can get them where the camera can see them. So here we go. Now, these are not under Sharon Laborde. They're under S.L. Broussard. And I did that because, when you're a pagan author, you don't want non-pagan people, reading your pagan books. And this is meant to be more, general audience. But, yeah, it's a story that, the first book might seem a little slow, but that's because it's setting everything up.
Yeah.
And then it just picks up, from there. And I'm working on the last book right now. So that's one thing that I actually did have one friend who's both Kemetic and a Transformers fan who got like the first 2 and was like, oh my God, when is the 3rd coming out? And then they got that book and read it, and it's like, oh my God, messaged me, is like, why am I crying right now? This is what is happening to me? Just because of this one point with a couple of characters, but yeah, they really enjoyed it. So
they're very good. And I also wanted to tell you, there's 2 folks that are reading right now, and one told me they've gotten a little further, and the other one told me they finished it.
Wait, so did Preston finish it?
He finished it.
Okay, and so he wasn't traumatized by anything.
No,
good.
He said it was quite good.
Okay, cool.
And everybody should have a copy. It's worth it.
Yeah.
But
anyway, that's my, that's my spiel for right now. Let me check and make sure that I'm not missing any requests. I have to copy poisons. Yeah. Okay, so Cam had asked for a divination.
I believe we can do that.
Cam Groshans. Yeah, some trees were raised. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Sarcastic, it's good seeing you, and hope we got you taken care of. And Cam, let's go ahead and do your divination request real quick, and we'll go from there. So, hang on. You know what? I think this one keeps. Like, imagine a fortune cookie just waving at you, like, hey, me. So I believe that one is yours. All right. Cam, your fortune says it's a good time to finish up old tasks. I think you've got the momentum of the season in your favor. You know, like I said, now it's a good time to finish up old tasks, whatever those might be. So, okay. And, all right, I think, yes. Okay, awesome. So that makes perfect sense. Woot. Okay. Well then, guys, let's go ahead and wrap things up. And again, if we missed anyone, just let us know in the chat. Hail unto you, Atum! Hail unto you, Khafri! You come into being upon the primeval hill. You shine forth upon the shrine of the phoenix in Unu. You breathe out Shu and Tefnut. May the giving of these offerings endure, as the name of Atum, foremost to the great in need, endures. May they endure as the name of Shu, Lord of Upper Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Tefnut, Mistress of Lower Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Geb at the earth's Ba endures. As the name of Nut in the shrine of Shenit in Unu endures. As the name of Osir, Kentiamentiu endures. As the name of Asat in Nicheru endures. As the name of Sutek in Nubet endures. As the name of Horus in Pe endures. As the name of Wajit in Dep endures. As the name of Jehuti in Khemenu endures. As the name of Ra in the Aket endures, likewise for eternity. You have come in peace, O Ra. You have come in peace, O Neat. You have come in peace, O Nachuru. May you go forth in peace, O Ra, O Neat, O Yunachuru. May you go forth in peace to every place your mortal cause wish to be. May you sail in joy in the Manjet bark, and rest content in the Sektet bark. And may you smile upon us, your humble servants. Okay. Well, guys, it's been a great time. Much love to everyone. And if you get to feeling down this week, just remember, you got folks here that love you.
We love you. Come back to us. We're going to be looking for you.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to seeing you again next Friday.
Big hugs.
Yes. Okay, see you guys soon.